Move out the way, Dilber, and let us get our hands on the goods. You hear me?
Stay back, Joe. All of you get away from here.
If he wanted to keep these things, why wasn't he natural in his lifetime?
Then he'd have someone looking after him
Yeah.
instead of gasping out his last alone by himself.
Move out the way, or you'll get the back of my hand.
Stay where you stand, Joe Milliger, or I'll whack you so hard you'll see the stars.
Give you 10 shillings to step aside.
I won't step aside for any of you lot.
Think about it. A whole 10 shillings. Make it a pound.
Said no and I mean it.
But why? What did he ever do for you?
He never did nothing for me, but that's on him, not me.
Well then.
He was a wicked old screw.
Move out the way, Dilber. I'm going to sell them bed curtains, rings and all, and make a fortune down in Cheapside.
You won't be touching anything, Joe, so get out before I call an officer of the watch.
Go ahead. He never gave the watch a farthing. They'll join him with a looting, most likely. Step aside, pet, and you won't get hurt. Carpets are frayed, fire screen scorched, and the silver could use a good polish, but I suspect you could make a pretty penny on this lot.
Wilkins, Master Wilkins, where did you disappear to? Here, sir. Sorry, sir. There is no tag on the rosewood inlay dining room table. I suggest you keep your mind on the details, Wilkins. Of course, Mr. Marley, sir. Mr. Pritchett will be conducting today's auction. Mr. Wilkins, I trust you offer him every assistance.
So the chair's up over by the door. The goods are not particularly fine, but I'm expecting a good turnout. Quickly, Wilkins. There's already a crowd beginning to gather downstairs.
Of course.
Pity about the owner.
He was a fool who could never grasp the dangers of compound interest.
Well, one man's misfortune is another man's profit. Shall I let them in? Queen's Bench property foreclosure with all items for public sale. Mr. Wilkins is circulating the catalogue now. We'll start with item 106, an antique gold clasp necklace with 7 rose-cut diamonds and an additional 4 European-cut gems. Shall we start the bidding at £30? 35. 40. 45, 50, 50? Do I hear £50? 55, 60. Any advance on 60? Anyone? 65. £65. Do I hear 70? 65 going once, twice. Sold to the woman at the back in the plumed hat. Next we have a mahogany and walnut inlaid table. Shall we start the bidding at £12? Christmas is a day written in light, Mr. Scrooge. The brightness of the roaring fires of kitchens and banquet rooms. The flickering blazes for the preparation of cosy family dinners. Even the pinpoint sparkle of the coachman's lamp. All light, all inviting us to the place that awaits us.
And where is that?
Home.
Where are we? What part of London is this?
London? Do you think the light of day shines only in London? This is the world, Mr. Scrooge.
What? The entire world?
From up here, there is no young or old, rich or poor, alone or in company. Up here, there are only specks of light floating in a black velvet sea. It is a wonder, isn't it?
Why do you bring me here? I have no time for wonders.
You, Mr. Scrooge, have no time at all. Take my hand.
No, I won't.
Don't be an old fool. Take my hand. And remember, a life can change in an instant. I promise you don't want what awaits you if you don't change.
And what if I cannot change, even if I should want to?
One thing would be a start. Take my hand. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.